Welcome to the NewsHour. America's top two defense officials are in Israel today with a dual message. The U.S. supports Israel and its right to self-defense, but it must stop killing so many Gaza civilians and focus its operations. The war continues at a brutal pace, with hundreds killed this past weekend, and some of Israel's closest European allies now pressing for a ceasefire. Hamas today released a new propaganda video showing 3 elderly male Israeli hostages still in captivity. One man speaking in the video identifies himself as 79-year-old Chaim Perry, who was abducted by Hamas from his kibbutz Nir Oz home on October 7th. Israeli media identified the other 2 hostages as fellow Nir Oz residents, 84-year-old Amram Cooper and Yoram Metzger, age 80. The hostages are heard pleading for Israel's help in securing their release in the video, which the NewsHour is not showing, as it's not clear when it was recorded or under what conditions. That says U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made his second visit to the region today since the start of the war, this time urging Israel to transition from its intense bombing campaign in Gaza to a more surgical ground operation.
This is Israel's operation. And I'm not here to dictate timelines or terms. We also have some great thoughts about how to transition from high-intensity operations to a lower intensity and more surgical operations.
The UK and Germany today joined a growing list of European allies who are now calling for a ceasefire. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is vowing to fight till the end.
There is no clock that is running.
Israel's defense minister today remained defiant.
We need to get to different performances on the ground before we move to the next phase.
With each day that passes, the humanitarian situation in Gaza grows increasingly dire. The United Nations Food Agency estimates 56% of Gaza's households are experiencing severe hunger. Displaced Palestinians are struggling just to get the basic necessities.
Our life is tragic, very hard. The situation is very difficult. Sometimes we run out of water by the evening, and the kids have to sleep thirsty until the sun rises and we can go out to fill up again.
Several more trucks could be seen carrying humanitarian aid through the Rafah crossing today from Egypt, but not nearly enough to respond to the crisis. For Palestinians in Gaza, it was another day shrouded by the fog of war. This was the scene moments after an airstrike pummeled the Nuseirat refugee camp in central Gaza, a race to rescue survivors. Witnesses say Israel attacked the camp last night and again this morning, killing at least 25 people.
Rescue teams are still trying to get a huge number of martyrs out from under the rubble. This is our situation.
Elsewhere in central Gaza, body bags pile up outside Al-Aqsa Hospital. Loved ones of the victims gathered in prayer and disbelief. Allahu Akbar! And prayers were also held over the weekend for the slain Al Jazeera cameraman Samer Abu Daqqa, his mother bidding a final goodbye. He was killed by what is believed to be an Israeli drone strike while reporting on the bombing of a school in southern Gaza. Israel says it does not deliberately target journalists. Abu Daqqa is one of at least 90 journalists killed since October 7th. Dozens came out to pay him tribute on Saturday, including Al Jazeera bureau chief Wael Dahdouh, who survived the attack. His wife, son, daughter, and grandson were all killed in an Israeli airstrike at the end of October.
We were targeted in a direct way, but it was God's will that I got injured and that Samer was martyred.
Israel is also denying claims that an Israeli sniper on Saturday targeted the sole Catholic church in Gaza, killing 2 Palestinian women who were sheltering inside.
The IDF only targets terrorist and terror infrastructure.
On Sunday, Pope Francis condemned the killings, adding this.
Some say this is terrorism. This is war. Yes, it is war. It is terrorism.